Welcome back to another Moustache Predicts. This is Game 3 of the 2020 World Series. So, Wednesday night, I actually got that game right. I was wrong on the score, but I was correct in the winner. So, Cy Young, a winner. Blake Snell definitely showed up to that game, and he was basically unhittable until he gave up that homer. He actually had a no-hitter to that point, I think. But the Rays batter showed up, and they ended up actually helping him out a whole bunch there. There should have been a few more runs, or at least one more run for the Rays, but Margot ended up trying a little bit too much, and he ended up getting thrown out on a infield hit at home. Then Gonsolin did not last nearly as long as I thought that he would. He ended up only going, I think it was one inning, and then Dustin May came in after that. So that may have been some strategy. I'm honestly not really 100% sure. But May ended up giving up a big homer to Lau, which I think was actually his second homer. So he actually started hitting the ball, and I'm wondering if maybe that's a spark that he needed to start actually making some production. So, for tonight's game, we've got Walker Buehler and Charlie Morton. Technically, the Rays are the home team, but as I mentioned before, everybody's doesn't matter because they're all pitching / playing in the same location each night. So maybe it's just going to be crowd noises that they inject in or something like that. I don't really know how the home field advantage is really actually done, other than just the structure of the batting in each game. So anyway, I'll get into it. Walker Buehler, he's 1-0 with an ERA of 3.44, 36 innings pitched, and 42 Ks. His whip is .955, and he started 8 games this year. So that's the regular season. His postseason stats, he's still kind of young, so he's 2-1 with an ERA of 2.44 at 55 innings pitched and 73 strikeouts. His whip is 1.030, and his last start was really good. He went 6 innings with 6 Ks, but he gave up 7 hits, and that could be a worry if the Rays are able to string together some hits like that. So we'll see how that goes for him tonight. Charlie Morton, on the other hand, he was 2-2 this year with an ERA of 4.74, so significantly higher than Walker Buehler. He pitched 38 innings and had 42 strikeouts. His whip was 1.395, and he started 9 games this year. He was third in Cy Young voting behind Verlander and Cole and just ahead of Bieber, so he's in pretty good company there. His postseason stats are 7-2 with an ERA of 2.84, 57 innings pitched, and 61 Ks. His whip is 1.158, and he appears to be a fairly good postseason pitcher with a postseason record of 7-2. He's 3-0 this postseason, but when he pitched Game 7 against the Astros, he was almost unhittable. He went 5 innings and only gave up 2 hits and 1 walk. Then, like I said, he's on that 3-0 streak right now. And although he's a little older, his best seasons in the big leagues have been his past 2 seasons. And I think right now he's 36, so he's a little on the higher end for age. But then again, I think Verlander has been pretty much lights out here recently, and he's in his mid to upper 30s. So I guess age doesn't necessarily matter. Keys to the game for the Rays. Charlie needs to establish himself early with a curveball. If he can do that and he can keep the Dodgers from scoring early, I think he'll do well. The Dodgers are good fastball hitters, and if he isn't able to establish that curveball and have his curveball hitting, then he's going to end up having to throw his fastball a little more often, which could end up working in the favor of the Dodgers. Since Charlie Morton pitched so well in his previous game, I have a feeling he's going to end up getting that curveball going, and I don't think he's going to have a problem. Keys to the game for the Dodgers, though. They need to get Charlie Morton off of his game. Since he's coming off of that big win in Game 7 of the ALCS, he's carrying some momentum here along, and with the Rays winning Game 2, Walker Buehler needs to give Dave Roberts a few good innings, and I personally think that he will. Walker Buehler seems like a very solid pitcher, and I think he's going to end up being able to last a decent amount into this game. But other than that, the Dodgers need to start stringing together some hits, and because Charlie Morton doesn't really give up a lot of walks, they need to take advantage of every single on-base opportunity. If these guys can start stealing bases, string together a few hits, then I think they're going to end up having a good shot at winning this game. I'm comfortable with the Rays saying that the Rays are going to take this one. I do think that it's going to go to the bullpen. I don't think it's going to be a very high-scoring game for the starting pitchers. I have a feeling that neither one of the starting pitchers is going to get the win. I kind of feel like it's the bullpen is going to be where the game is won or lost. I actually think both Morton and Buehler are going to go 5 innings apiece, roughly, and most likely the first one that gets taken out is going to be the first one to give up a run. I'm looking at the score to be 5-3 Rays. So we'll see what happens, and I'll be back tomorrow night to talk about whether or not I was correct or incorrect in my assumptions on tonight's game.